Shadur's rising. Stefanski's reputation is collapsing in real time. But the real question is this: what happens next in Atlanta? And why does the entire NFL look like it's holding its breath?
When things was transpiring, everybody seen it. You could not cut on your TV and not see Kevin Stefanski sabotaging Shadur. It was making New York Post, ABC News, NBC, ESPN, social media, you name it, everybody and their mama was talking about the buffoonery Kevin Stefanski was doing in regards to Shadur Sanders. Well, it looked like that.
I had enough of this dude. I had enough of this dude, Kevin Stefanski, lying like we don't have two eyes that can see. We saw what you did with Shadur Sanders. You know, this man got the job with the Atlanta Falcons, and he's still getting pressed about the treatment and the sabotage of Shadur Sanders. He got pressed so bad in this interview, he started foaming at the mouth, just blabbling, saying a bunch of nothing and a bunch of lies.
It's not my number one choice, Carl. We'll see where this goes. Now, we've had retreads or guys get a second opportunity to have great success in this league, you know, from Bill Belichick to Andy Reid, but Stefanski is going to be a hard sell to some of the fan base.
Yeah, Dede, where you at on this, man?
You know, to you guys' point, when I just posted, like, hey, we got a new head coach, you know, Stefanski it is, on some of my social feeds, you know, to Mike's point, man, a lot of lukewarmness about this hire.
Kevin Stefanski.
Kevin Stefanski really thought he could leave Cleveland, hop on a plane, land in Atlanta, put on a fresh visor, and magically erase what he did to Shadur Sanders last season. But the league doesn't work like that. The NFL has the longest memory in sports, and karma doesn't need training camp to warm up, because now the whispers are turning into reports, and the reports are turning into smoke, and the smoke is starting to look like a full-blown fire. Falcons players are already looking for the exit before Stefanski even coaches a single game. Kyle Pitts might be gone. David and Juco are getting pulled back into conversations with Cleveland connections. And the wildest part? This isn't just Falcons drama, this is league-wide. Players remember, players talk, players watch film. They watched the sabotage happen on national television. They watched Stefanski play games with a rookie quarterback's confidence like it was a chessboard. They watched him lie, twist narratives, and turn development into humiliation. And now that he's in Atlanta, it's not just fans booing, it's players quietly deciding, yeah, I'm not putting my career in this man's hands. What just leaked about the early Atlanta exodus proves something the NFL hates admitting out loud. What you do to one player becomes your reputation with every player. And Stefanski's reputation? Cooked, burnt, sealed. And it all traces back to Shadur Sanders.
When Kevin Stefanski, we just seen players speak openly about this. We just seen players speak behind the scenes. Now I'm hearing that it's finna affect the roster for the 2026 season. Now, David Njoku, former Browns tight end, could be connected to some of this drama that is coming out of Atlanta. Now, we know he took to Instagram a few days ago. So
What do you...
Yo, I need you to really lock in for this. Because what's going on in Atlanta right now is the kind of NFL story that feels like a movie script, but it's real, and it's ugly, and it's connected directly to the Cleveland situation. Kevin Stefanski just got hired by the Atlanta Falcons. New job, new city, new fresh start. And on paper, that should be exciting, right? New coach energy, new culture, new direction. You'd think the locker room would be buzzing. You'd think guys would be posting, "Let's work," captions on Instagram. But instead, what's happening? The exact opposite. Before the season even starts, reports are already coming out that Falcons players are looking for the door. And I'm not talking about random practice squad guys either. I'm talking about names, big names. Kyle Pitts, the star tight end, first-round pick, the kind of talent teams build offenses around, is already being linked to a possible exit. Players are talking behind the scenes. The vibe is weird. The energy is off. And the man hasn't coached a single snap yet. That's not normal. That's not growing pains. That's a warning sign. And the reason is simple. Even if nobody wants to say it on ESPN, this isn't just about Atlanta. This is about what Stefanski did in Cleveland, and the fact that the whole league saw it. And before anyone tries to downplay it, let's be honest. What happened with Shadur Sanders last season wasn't some football disagreement. It wasn't rookie struggles. It wasn't, he needs time. It was sabotage. Loud sabotage. Public sabotage. The kind of sabotage so obvious that it stopped being a football conversation and became a national conversation. You couldn't turn on sports media without hearing about it. Social media was on fire. Mainstream outlets were touching it. The New York Post ran with it. ABC and NBC were in the mix. Everybody was watching Stefanski treat a rookie quarterback like an inconvenience instead of an investment. And that's why this Atlanta situation is exploding before it even starts, because players around the league aren't dumb. They remember. They saw the way Stefanski played with Shadur's reps, yanked him around on the depth chart, set him up in ugly situations, then acted surprised when the results looked chaotic. And the worst part, even when Shadur performed, Stefanski couldn't bring himself to give him credit. Think about how insane that is. A rookie comes in with pressure, comes in with doubters, comes in with the whole world watching, and still finds ways to produce 300-plus yard games, big drives, poise, leadership, even a Pro Bowl appearance, and the head coach is still moving like the kid is a problem. That's not coaching. That's ego. That's control. That's personal. And players noticed. That's the part people keep missing. Fans debate online, analysts argue on TV, but players take notes. Players are in group chats. Players share agents. Players share trainers. Players share locker rooms. The NFL is a small neighborhood with billionaire owners. And when you watch a coach treat a rookie like that, especially a rookie with Shadur's talent and spotlight, you don't just forget, you file it away. So Stefanski walks into Atlanta thinking he's about to rewrite the story, and the players are already like, nah, we know the real version. That's why Kyle Pitts reportedly wants out. Because if Stefanski was willing to sabotage Shadur Sanders, someone with elite talent, huge visibility, and a massive fan base, what do you think he'll do to you when the cameras aren't focused on your name? That's the logic players use. It's not emotional, it's business. Careers are short, bodies break down. You get one prime window. Nobody wants their prime window wasted by a coach with a reputation for ego and manipulation. And then the Cleveland connection makes it even nastier. David Njoku, who was in that building, who saw everything up close, is reportedly leaving Cleveland. And now you've got rumors that Stefanski might try to recruit him to Atlanta if Pitts is really gone. But let's pause right there, because that's where the story gets almost comedic. Njoku was there. He saw the meetings. He saw the locker room. He saw how Shadur was treated. So why would he want to follow Stefanski anywhere? That's why some people believe Stefanski isn't recruiting. He's scrambling. He's trying to grab anybody who might still tolerate him. Because the truth is this: Stefanski's reputation didn't reset when he changed cities. It followed him like a shadow. And now Atlanta is feeling it. Meanwhile, Cleveland is still stuck in the same toxic loop. Even after everything Shadur proved, the Browns are still acting like they're unsure. Still floating competition. Still pushing narratives. Still entertaining the idea of bringing in other quarterbacks like Shadur didn't already show he belongs. And that's where the Mary Kay Cat angle comes in, because she's one of the voices who's been steering the narrative from day one. Now she's out here dropping names like Garrett Nuzmir, talking about drafting another QB in round 2 or 3, talking about Deshaun Watson competing with Shadur like we didn't all just watch the season that happened. It's like the Browns are addicted to chaos. Shadur shows up, handles adversity with maturity, performs through sabotage, takes hits, keeps his head up, keeps working. And Cleveland's response is, yeah, but what if we bring in more drama? That's why players around the league side-eye organizations like this. Because if you can do everything right and still get treated like you're disposable, what's the incentive? And this is exactly why Atlanta players are reacting the way they are. Because they've seen the blueprint. They know how Stefanski operates. They know he'll protect his ego before he protects a player's development. And once that label sticks, you're done. That's why this isn't just a football story, it's an accountability story. The NFL has always been a league where coaches can ruin careers, then walk into a new job like nothing happened, mistreat a player, kill his confidence, stunt his growth, then blame him publicly and move on. But what happened to Shadur was too loud, too public, too documented. Everybody saw it. And now, for once, the consequences are catching up. Stefanski is in Atlanta, and players are already leaning away from him. Free agents are going to hesitate. Draft picks are going to whisper. Agents are going to warn their clients. And the crazy part is, Shadur doesn't even have to say a word. He doesn't have to expose anything. He doesn't have to do interviews. He doesn't have to play victim. He just keeps working, keeps improving, keeps letting the film speak. And while he stays professional, Stefanski has to live with being known as the coach who sabotaged Shadur Sanders. That's a career stain. That's not going away. And back in Cleveland, the Browns are realizing they let a coach's ego turn their quarterback room into a circus. They let the media attack Shadur every week. They created a toxic environment around a rookie who should have been protected and developed. And now they're scrambling because they know they messed up. That's why you're hearing the same tired rumors: Russell Wilson, Malik Willis, Mendoza, anybody, because Cleveland is still addicted to uncertainty. They don't know how to commit. They don't know how to build, they only know how to debate. And Shadur is sitting right there, still preparing, still working, still building his legacy like, cool, keep talking. Because here's what drives people crazy about Shadur. He doesn't need approval. He doesn't need validation. He doesn't need the Browns media to like him. He's got a global fan base. He's got endorsement money. He's got a Pro Bowl appearance. He's got tape. And tape doesn't lie. So when Cleveland talks about competition, Shadur probably smiles because he knows what he did last season despite being sabotaged. He knows the only thing holding him back was coaching, and that coaching packed its bags and moved to Atlanta. Which brings us back to the irony. Stefanski thought he could escape. He thought he could reboot his image. He thought Atlanta would be a clean slate. But players don't forget. Players don't forgive easily when careers are at stake. Players don't trust coaches who play games with reps, depth charts, and narratives. That's why Kyle Pitts wants out. That's why the locker room feels weird. That's why the Falcons situation looks messy before it even starts. And that's why this story is bigger than one coach and one quarterback. It's about how the league actually works. It's about reputation. It's about accountability. It's about the fact that in the NFL, you can fool fans for a while, you can fool media for a while, but you can't fool players. They see everything, they remember everything, and they talk. Stefanski sowed sabotage, lies, and ego, and now he's reaping the fallout. Player departures, distrust, and a fan base that's already skeptical before he coaches a single game. Meanwhile, Shadur's reputation stays spotless, handled adversity with grace, performed at a high level through chaos, never threw anyone under the bus, never went on a revenge tour, stayed confident, stayed professional, stayed locked in. That's the difference between someone built to last and someone just trying to survive job to job. Stefanski thought he could mistreat Shadur and face no consequences. He was wrong. The NFL is watching, players are watching, fans are watching, and everybody is taking notes. So let me ask you this. Do you think Stefanski deserves what's happening to him in Atlanta, or should players give him a fresh start? And more importantly, do you believe the Browns will finally commit to Shadur now that Stefanski is gone? Drop your honest thoughts in the comments, because this conversation is far from over. And if you made it this far, you already know what time it is. Hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, because the Shadur Sanders story is just getting started. And when he proves everyone wrong next season, and he will, you're going to want to be here for every moment. Let's go.